Howdy. Welcome to Communiwhat. This is going to end up being a podcast, Communiwhat podcast. I know I have the 1 Minute Wins podcast, but I am Dr. Dana Martin, and I am the host of the 1 Minute Wins podcast. I'm also the host of the Sith Dominion podcast. If you watch the Sith Dominion podcast, you might know this person here. I can't ever make this work. Madison, thank you for joining
Oh,
tonight. Madison,
yes.
you're joining us to help me. You do a lot of work in the background for DMILM, not for free, but you do a lot of work in the background for us. And I really appreciate that. We all appreciate everything that you do. So, with that, you will be helping if there's anyone that has any questions. We'll be posting questions here in a little bit after we go through a couple of things that might pop up. And yeah, if you want to reach out and connect with Dr. Dana, please feel free to do that also on any of my socials. And pretty much every social is either forward slash or at Dr. Dana Martin. And I don't know why I say it like that. I just do because it's fun. I earned it. I can say it how I want, right? Um, one of the cool things about communication, and I'm glad that I have you on. I'd like to think that I was the absolute, pristine best communicator as a parent. And for those of you that don't know, I might be related to Madison. No, absolutely, she's my the apple of my eye, my pride and joy, my favorite daughter, Madison. Of course, I only have one daughter, but
I just
I'm
lowest
not gonna
lowest.
get into does it? So, uh, but no, I know I failed many times as a communicator. I succeeded a lot too, and I think you learned a lot as I grew, as I was getting my MBA and was learning more and trying to establish those things in my household. Um, there was definitely a change, but also you learned a lot, I think, just from observing and what works and what doesn't, and we all do, right? Watching our folks um argue, no, discuss things. What's a good way to communicate and what's a bad way. um I'd love to not know detail, right? But like, I mean, am I right in my assessment that yeah, I learned some good habits from you, Dad, but also I did learn some bad habits
Yeah,
growing up.
definitely.
Yeah,
And it
that's
wasn't
one of the go ahead.
it wasn't so much I didn't mimic a lot of your behaviors growing up.
Mhm,
I saw, okay, this communication doesn't work. So let me do something
mhm,
else. My way
mhm.
did not work. It was not very effective either. You were one extreme, and so I went to the complete other side of that. Because I was like, well,
Mhm,
that's not working. I see that it's not working. I don't like being talked this way either. So I'm going to go to the complete other side of that spectrum.
mhm.
And that did not end well either. That was not good at all.
Well, we're talk a lot about leadership. This is what we do here at DMILM. Um, the L stands for leadership. If you look at it, we have to lead ourselves, right? And so that does not just remain in the workplace. You have to be able to lead yourself outside of the workplace and in your home and in your personal life. And those things that I learned did not work, um, carry over, and I think you would agree where I am at and where you are at today. Um, Heads and tails different in how to communicate with people, and it doesn't just happen. It's not like one day you wake up and I'm the great orator or the great communicator. It doesn't work that way. You have to put in the effort and you have to learn. And so one of the cool things I get to do with DMILM is uh, come up with ways that maybe we already kind of know, but put maybe a little different spin on it, right? Kind of teach things a little differently to reach maybe some folks that some of these, I don't want to say tenets of communication, maybe just you don't resonate well. And so when we look at what our experience was, say 20 years ago or 15 years ago. That made me feel real old when I said that. Uh, um, I think one of the most interesting thing, I'm not the only person. Many people, and you as a parent now, probably have experienced. They're not understanding what I'm saying, the child, or my coworker, or my boss. So I'm going to just say it again, but louder because they didn't hear me the first time, right? Have we ever? No, never. Not one time. Of course, right? We all did. Have you ever done that? Just said it louder because maybe they just didn't understand it the first time.
No, we have almost a rule of three at the house for one specific child because we're like,
Mm,
okay, we don't know if you didn't hear us or if you're still processing the information we gave you, so we're gonna give it to you two more times. And after the third time, it clicks. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's what I was supposed to do." Yes, that's why we have said it 3 times in a
yeah.
row.
Yeah, and we do that at work, or in customer client relationship, right? We're talking to our client, and they ask us a question, we respond, and they say, "That's not what I said." Well, that's exactly what you said. Okay, well then that's not what I meant. There's just too much of the gap there, right? Um, Saying it louder, not always the best. Not always the best route. Um, Communication is just one piece, right? It's just one piece of what I do, and it's only one piece of being an effective leader. And I do have a newsletter. If you are interested, it's the Be the Example newsletter. The QR code, I don't you should be able to get that. And I have a link for that newsletter as well somewhere. I don't know. Maybe I don't. I know that there's links all over LinkedIn and Facebook and X for the newsletter. Each week with the Be the Example newsletter, you will receive good, timely skill enhancement. I think that's a good way to put it. Um, right now, we're going through 4-part series and the surprise fifth part, which will be discussed tomorrow in, let me change slides, communication breakdown. This will be our first Communiwhat workshop. Yeah, workshop talking about communication. We're going to walk through the 5 different steps of effective intentional communication. And in doing so, if you are a newsletter subscriber, you will have already gotten the first 4 as of today because the newsletter comes out every Tuesday. You get the newsletter, and you get told, "Oh, I got first crack at this." Yeah, you got first crack at the communication breakdown. That's not what I meant. Workshop. We're going to go over in detail 1, 2, 3, and 4 that were in the newsletter, and we'll talk about those here in a minute. But then we'll also add the fifth, and then we're going to spend the rest of the hour just talking about communication. Hey, I've got this coworker I'm needing to have a difficult conversation with. This is kind of the context. How do I do that? And we'll walk through some real world examples on how to be more effective communicators by using the framework that we're going to touch on tonight, but go into detail tomorrow. Sounds like sounds like fun to me. That's why I'm doing it. And it's complimentary. So go register. Thank you, Madison. This is why, yes, that's why you're down there. uh tinyurl.com/DMILMCOMM as in communication. So join us tomorrow, 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. Central. That is, once you register, you will receive the Zoom link. You will not receive that Zoom link unless you register, and there are only 40 spots. Registration closes at the beginning of the workshop. Cool, cool. I'm looking forward to it. Right? I'm look, listen. This is the first time we're doing this. I didn't expect anyone but you and me to show up. And there's like 4 or 5 people. So I'm stoked. Let's go. I'll do it for just you and I. I did a communication workshop. A gosh, I think it was a yeah, it was a 7 week for 1 hour, 1 hour a week for 7 weeks, and it was everyone communicates but few connect. I love that book, and I love that mastermind. It was a mastermind class I did, and I had two participants, and one of those participants attended every single one, and it made me so happy. It was totally worth the time. Great individual. You know him because he used to be on the show quite a bit, but hasn't been lately. Anyhow, newsletter, plenty
Mhm.
of stuff in there. You'll get not only kind of a quote, but a lesson to go along with that quote, and then just a short action item based on our lesson. Just small, right? And that's the point about what we're going to talk about with communication here in a bit is you don't have to make leaps and bounds, right? You don't have to dig into this entire book of communication to understand communication. Sometimes it just takes a little nudge. So, register, go to the Be the Example newsletter, but that's not what we're here for. We're here for Communiwhat. So, some people know a little bit about Communiwhat because I've been talking about this since 2010. Yeah, 2010. In 2010, I was a supervisor, newer supervisor. I had not been a supervisor for not even a year yet, I don't believe, working at a Fortune 500 company in telecommunications, cable, internet. And man, it was tough because it was a booming industry and there was some fighting in territories. And one of the things that everyone loves to hate is the quote unquote cable company, whether they're providing cable phone or internet. And working for a company that's hated, not fun. But in 2010, I was handed the keys to the kingdom, quote unquote, of technical support staff for business class. And that was awesome because you're talking with a lot different clientele. There's not a lot of kind of back and forth. It's broke. I need it fixed. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. And we get it fixed. We try to troubleshoot it. If we could fix it, which 9 times out of 10 we could, unless it was a break, something else, go to the line, whatever. There's noise, RF, whatever. All that to say, it it was a lot, and there were a lot of moving parts. You had linemen, you had, uh, up in the air bucket truck people, you had us, you had service techs that would just go on site, you had network guys in another building and another just so many things to make internet work, and I was at the ground level, and I actually in '99 worked for Roadrunner. That's like the first broadband on a Motorola-based device and network. Like it was crazy. That was the first kind of high-speed internet. Anyway, I digress. So communication in a communication company, telecommunications company. Fast forward, I'm 9 months, 8 months, 9 months in, and I'm in this meeting, and we have this big issue that's impacting a lot of people, but we can't figure out kind of where it's starting or what the issue is. And so we're told, you go take a look at this, pull up the data, tell me what you get. Okay. So I go and I do. But in the meantime, as I'm leaving the room to go and do, I hear this same director ask another person to go see what he can find using the same information, I think. Whatever. It's in the back of my head, right? So we go, both of us off, do two separate things, come back with two separate results and two separate reasons of what we believe, our theory of why this issue continues to happen. Uh, both of us apparently were very wrong, and neither of us actually did or went for the information the way that our director wanted. So, because we didn't even start with the right information, we ended with the wrong solution or the wrong answer to the problem. What? How did this even happen? Do you know how much time I spent digging into this data, pulling reports, d- running dupe checks, V lookups, whatever, like everything to make this happen for this director? All for naught. And the director, of course, assumed or put the onus on myself and the other individual for misunderstanding. I was seething mad. I marched myself back to my open air cubicle as a supervisor that was twice the size of everybody else's cubicle. And I wrote communication. So I was so mad. That's all I could think of. Like, what's wrong with you people? Like, you just made two departments spend these that's money, and we didn't have to. So I wrote communication angrily in red. And I sat down, I looked at it, like, nah, nah, there was no communication. Clearly, there was talking and there was direction giving, but there was no communication. So I scratched it out in black and I was like, that's not communication, it's communa. What? And that's how the idea started, with trying to have a lifetime of trying to improve my own communication, but then sharing what I've learned in education, of course, but then also my own experience with communication. Because how can we, as a telecommunication company at that time in my career, how can I work for such a large scale company that is just hemorrhaging man hours like this? I can't. This is ridiculous. Seemed like a problem I could fix. Once I had the right data, I did. And just for the record, and I know now that's been what, 15, 20, 15 years, but in 2011, that team that I became the manager of, we won the JD Power and Associates Award for customer satisfaction for enterprise level customers. That is an accomplishment from a cable company, not because of me, but because the team was able to be effective communicators to their clients, cross departmental. So, yeah, a little bit me, because I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to learn to communicate. All right. I digress. I'm done. So that's what Communal What is. That's where it started. Um, I love the story. This picture is the actual picture I took with my yes, 2010. I had a Samsung. Oh, I forget what it was called, but it was like a tinier phone. It was like this. No, I may have had the Hero. I may have had the HTC Hero then. Anyhow, point is,
HTC.
yes, HTC. Yeah,
We were all
2010.
HTC.
We were an HTC family. Android first, foremost. Yeah. So that's Communal What, man. I This has been sitting in the back of my mind for so long, and it wasn't until I was in a workshop with Gab and Jean Boucher. They are I can't remember the name of their company. I'm so sorry, Gab and Jean. Uh, Purpose Factor. Is it Purpose Factor? Yeah, Purpose Factor. And I took the Purpose Factor, and it was great. It was wonderful. And looking through the Purpose Factor analysis or assessment, um, and listening to them, it was a free complimentary week long conference. And what an amazing eye opening experience to say, look, what is your passion? What is your purpose? Those are two different things. Separate them, get to the bottom of them, and then understand that if your passion really is talking, communicating, connecting, and that's what you need to pursue. And instantly it pops in my head. Communiwhat. I gotta go dig up this photo. So there I go into the backup of the backup folder of the backup folder, trying to find from 2010 and how 3 or 5 cell phones ago, you know, trying to find a backup of this picture. But I didn't find it in any of those. I actually found it on Facebook from April or August of 2010 or whatever when I posted it. And I was like, how are we at a telecommunications company? We can't communicate. I was very angry. So, how do you do it, right? Like how do you do it? Um, well, it takes work, right? Um, before I know, right? I feel like I'm one of those people. But before we get into that, uh, it's important to understand why Communiwhat, right? So first, we know the how it all came to be, but what is it about Communiwhat that's different or special, right? Well, Communiwhat is not just the the words, the actions, it's the meaning, and the meaning that two people can have and create together through connection. I was listening to Simon Sinek the other day. If you don't listen to Simon Sinek, you're missing out. And he was talking about one of the things that has happened since COVID is our social lives have been really trimmed down because we didn't go out. We didn't have meals with 5 different couples or go out and do these things. And so we really collectively as a society haven't gotten back into that, going to the clubs, having this social aspect outside of work. And so since COVID, your work counterparts have become also your social counterparts. And that blending and that lack of line of delineation between the two has now created this new effect of who who can you work with? Are they really your friends? And there is a book coming on that. They're not your friends. That's what it's called. But Simon Sinek was discussing the fact that these changes fundamentally change the way that we talk to people, we communicate with people. Because now it's not just walking into the office. Hi, Jim. Hi, Dana. How are you? Doing well. How are the kids? Great. How's Nancy? Fine. See you tomorrow. All right. It's not that anymore. That might be the only person you speak to outside of your family. I, I'm not exaggerating. And so connection becomes just even that much more important. Not saying you need to be connected on an extremely personal level with a coworker. No, different levels of connection, certainly, but connection still. Connection has to happen. That connection and that being able to understand each other creates a level of clarity that normal communication day to day can't provide. Now, once you've developed the rapport with the individual and you are speaking their language and they're responding in your language, yeah, now we have clarity. And that clarity then drives results. This is the whole point and purpose of Communiwhat. Now for the fun stuff, right? You guys, whoever's watching right now or watching later, whoever's watching right now later, you're getting to see this first before. I know, I I am the dad joke guy. I mean, you couldn't turn a corner in my house without tripping over a pun. Like, and I gave up on the puns, but my spawn has not. He will. pun you to death. It's terrible. All right, let's go. What? 5-step framework for clear communication. I'm going to have to add connected communication to this slide. Number one, intent. Before you even step into the realm of another individual to have that conversation, what's the point? Are you relaying information? Or are you giving a directive? Or are you, et cetera, et cetera? Know why you're approaching the individual. Number two, context. What do they need to understand whatever you're saying correctly? Is there a piece of information they may need to make sure that all of the check boxes are ticked at the end? And they have, number three, clarity. Have I made this simple and actionable? Word salad is for rabbits. Nobody likes word salad. Clear, concise, clarity. And if your instructions aren't simple enough to follow, if it takes you, I forget who said that, if it takes you more than 30 seconds to explain how to do something, it's too hard, it's too difficult. You make it easier. So I gotta find that. I don't have a lore master on this channel like on Sith Dominion that can look up those quotes for me. Number four, I'm not expecting you to do that. Don't do that.
I'm doing it anyways.
Number four, confirmation. Just because I said something doesn't mean that you understood what I was trying, the message I was trying to get across. Do they understand? And number five, control. This is kind of the piece that you'll get tonight, that you'll get if you sign up for the newsletter. You'll get on Tuesday a whole newsletter about control. But am I leading this moment or reacting? That's an important pause moment. There are two important pauses, beginning and end. And I do have a tool called Power of the Pause I'm working on. Some people have been lucky enough to already see it and have at least the one sheet card in their arsenal. But pausing to make sure you understand the intent. If you don't understand the intent, if you just got this information and feel like you've just got to share it, why? What's the point? Are you gonna praise somebody, gaslight somebody? What's the point? That's the first pause. And then at the end, pause to reflect. Am I leading or am I just reacting? Extremely important. Be intentional, be clear, get results. Sounds simple enough, but putting it into practice takes practice. So, number one, intent. Number two, context. Number three, clarity. Number four, confirmation. And number five, control. All right, hide the secret sauce because that's for tomorrow. Hide the secret sauce. Yeah, I don't know even how all this works. This test tonight is a secondary test for the podcast Communiwhat that we're going to start doing on Wednesdays. I did not tell you about that, Madison, because I'm not sure if, how, or what, but we'll discuss offline. Tomorrow, like I said in the beginning, that's a Zoom link for that tomorrow. And if you can't make it tomorrow and you think, man, this is like something I would love to walk through, let me know. Hit me up. Not on the tiny URL because I can't make that work again. How do you switch that? Was it this one? DM Island. No, Dr. Dana Martin. Yeah. Oh,
I already had it and you turned it off.
Yes.
Those 2 cents
Yeah.
are hitting you. It's my job.
This is why I don't even touch things on the System Minion podcast because I get, you know,
I
so
started running the tags on the Sith Dominion podcast
there
because
you go.
y'all forget to run them, and then it turns into a fight between Zane and I who can run them first.
Yes. Yeah, and if you like Star Wars, yes, the Sith Dominion podcast, go over there, YouTube, Facebook, same places. We also have that on audio as well. Um, I didn't even talk about 1 minute wins. I need to talk about that real quick here. Let me pop over to 1 minute wins. What do you think? YouTube? Yeah, because I'm starting to do those. So 1 minute wins, you can find several different places. Do I have a book here? Hold on one sec, folks. Over on Amazon.com, you can get 1 minute wins, volume 1. Take control of your growth journey 1 minute at a time. Along with this book, which inside, I think I can show you this. You get, can you even see that? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So kind of like the newsletter, right? You'll get like a quote, a lesson, action item, and some reflection. But a minute and a half tops. Then you go over to YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. And I thought I had Spotify pulled up, but nope. Let me share this screen real quick. Okay, no, not this one. Sorry, wrong one. That was still loading. I thought that was the one. Switch account. There you go. All 7 subscribers on YouTube. Why didn't that just go? Oh, perfect. No one saw that. All right. I'm going to boop you out. Okay. There we go. So here we go. Yeah, this is streaming right now on my channel. On my channel, we do have the, as you see, Curiosity Wins. 1 minute win. Countability. So all of these 101 1 minute wins are listed here. You can see them all. Oh no, not 101. Not all of them. Sorry. Not yet. Only 61 of them, I think, are listed there. But yeah, anywhere you get your podcast, go check out the 1 minute wins podcast and go get the book. I also have Dark Side Journal that has some dark side quotes. Oh, my personal one, which funny story, I left at an event I did. I gave it away thinking it was a blank one and took the blank one with me because I actually do use the. Yeah. There you go. Path to Domination. It's got lots of lines. It's a journal, but it also has some great quotes that the dark side quotes, but we've changed them into like leadership quotes. Strike laziness down and you shall become unstoppable. I know it's kind of ridiculous, but it's fun. Even Sith can smile. All right. I think that's probably going to be it for tonight. Gonna start doing the Communiwhat podcast soon. Yeah. I guess that's it. Let's pop this up one more time. How quick? How quick? Oh, we don't have the link. Oh, that's not that one. That's this one. But that's okay.
Well, then
Tomorrow.
it would just be DMI
I
11,
keep
and they
saying
can
tomorrow.
use that.
June 3rd. June
That's
3rd.
that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. I know, but I need to announce it so that people watching later know
Ah,
if it's June 4th, don't go looking for this.
it's
Okay,
gone.
be there.
You lost it.
Gone. June 3rd, 11:30 to 12:30 Central Time over your lunch break. You don't have to if you're like, man, I don't even start my lunch till noon. So sign up and jump in at noon and we'll talk. I, I don't care. It's that way on purpose. I can only do it for an hour, but someone can only do it for 30 minutes. Jump in. No worries. Let's go. Uh it is only limited to 40 participants though, as I stated. And don't like, oh, I'll just do the next one. No, just go. If I've got 41 people trying to sign up, I'm gonna open it up for 41 people. I could be so lucky. I would hope. You guys got this. Let's go. We're gonna have fun tomorrow. Uh yep. Oh, LinkedIn groups. Yeah, that's a big, long. If you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see my groups. And Communiwhat is a group on LinkedIn that's been there for a little over a year, I think. We just haven't done much with it in a while since like October. So we're gonna pick up that group and use it kind of as the home base for communication stuff. Cool. Madison, appreciate your help tonight.
You're welcome.
Awesome.
That's what I'm here for.
I know. I know. You'll see her tomorrow as well, or on June 3rd at 11:30 to 12:30 Central. Perfect. All right. Thank you again, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Hopefully, everyone sign up. Let's go. We'll see y'all later. Oh, always remember, be the example.